It's the final week of the NFL season, and we got 2 Saturday games. Let's talk a little football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're here to talk some NFL. I cannot believe it is the last weekend of the NFL season, but it's crazy. We got 2 games on Saturday we're going to talk about, but quick reminders, NFL Best Game Bets video, which I give you the trends as well for the Sunday games. That video and the NFL Player Props video will both be out Friday, probably afternoon. Player Props will be out late Friday night like usual. So let's get right into it. Any graphics you see in this video are from an app called OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click the link below to sign up and you get a 7-day free trial. So let's get right into it. I'm going to go dad joke for you. So here we go. I woke up laughing this morning. I must have slept funny. That's what I got. Let's do it. All right, recap Monday Night Football 1-in-1 day. You guys probably don't even remember it, but we'll recap it real quick, and then we're going to talk and preview and get while giving out our best bets for the Browns and the Ravens and the Bengals at the Steelers, all 4 AFC North teams, and then we'll finish it with the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we are very, very close to 35,000 subscribers. Thank you guys, as always, for the support all NFL season long. But let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, the 1-1 split. Brock Purdy, 250 plus pass yards, easy peasy winner on that one. These are both half unit plays. Lions minus 2.5 first half. They were losing, I think, by 1 at halftime. Either way, it was a loss. So 148, 134, up 12.18 units. And now it's time for some Saturday NFL action, and it starts with the Browns and Ravens. All right, we head out to Baltimore where the Ravens host the Cleveland Browns. The Ravens, no joke, are minus 20 right now with a total of 41.5. The spread is half the total. It's crazy. Let's preview this game. I don't know why I'm supposed to, I think is why, but a win here gives the Ravens the AFC North crown and the number 3 seed. It shouldn't be a problem, obviously, versus Cleveland. Browns quarterback situation, it looks like Bailey Zappi will get the start at quarterback now, with Jameis being, I don't know, maybe a third string behind DTR and him. But injuries, Ravens tackle Ronnie Stanley is questionable, sick. Matabuike, the D tackle, is questionable for the Ravens as well. Browns, who cares? I mean, Myles Garrett, questionable. Why play him, honestly, in this last game? But earlier meeting, the Browns did shock the Ravens 29-24 in Jameis's first start of the season. It was like their Super Bowl. These teams are in much different spots now, obviously. ATS numbers, Ravens have never been higher than a 17-point favorite in franchise history. That changes here. Ravens 3-3-1 ATS at home this season, only 2-3 ATS versus their own division. Browns 2-6 ATS on the road, 2-3 ATS versus their own division. I talked about the preview for way too long. I do apologize. I have a best bet in this game, and I don't love it, but give it to me. It's a half unit play. Give me the Ravens minus 12 in the first half at minus 110 on the ESPN bet. That is a lot of points. But the Ravens are playing, obviously, for the division. Browns not playing for anything, just some backups, trying to get to the offseason. Lamar also trying to win his 3rd MVP. You know, he's in the running right now, so he's going to play hard. They're going to anyways because you have to win a division. But I think Baltimore comes out absolutely fired up, especially after losing their first meeting. In the 3 games since their bye week, Ravens have outscored their opponents 55-19 in the first half, led by 14 over the Giants, led by 7 at halftime over the Steelers, led by 15 against the Texans. Cleveland, Cleveland offense is one of the worst things you will see in your lifetime. The Browns' point totals the last 3 weeks, 7, 6, and 3. That's their full game totals. I'm just needing that first half. Team total of this game is set at 11.5 for the Browns. That is insane. I don't need to dive into the deep numbers. We know how good Baltimore is. I expect them to come out ready to punch them in the mouth and crush them this game, and I expect them to be up by 13 plus points. So my first best bet is the Ravens minus 12 in the first half. And let's move on to game number 2. All right, this second one takes us out to Pittsburgh, where the Steelers host the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals minus 2. Total in this one is 48. Let's preview this one. Playoff scenarios. Bengals have a 4% chance of making the playoffs. This is a must-win game, and have the Chiefs beat the Broncos. Chiefs are playing like all backups, and the Jets beating the Dolphins. And then the Steelers, to win the division, they must win and see Baltimore lose as a 20-point favorite to the Cleveland Browns. The wild card for the Steelers already clinched a spot, but a win here gets them the 5 seed. And a 5 seed would be against the Texans, the struggling Texans in the first round. A loss here and a Chargers win over the Raiders knocks the Steelers down to a 6 seed, which means they would play in Baltimore. Needless to say, they want to win this freaking game, that's for sure. But earlier matchup, Steelers won a shootout, 44-38. Pittsburgh had 522 total yards, 410 passing yards for Russ. Notable injuries: Joe Burrow, questionable. I expect him to play. Fully expect him. Running back Chase Brown, questionable. Not looking good, but you never know. Wide receiver T. Higgins is questionable as well. Something to keep an eye on. Steelers, cornerback Dante Jackson is questionable. So some ATS numbers real quick. Bengals, #1 road ATS team in the NFL. That's wild. 7-1 against the spread on the road. 3-2 ATS in their own division. Steelers, 5-2 ATS at home, the 5th best in the league. 3-2 ATS in their own division. I got 2 bets. They're half unit plays. If you've been following me the last couple weeks, you already know where I'm going. This is the third week in a row. It's another plus money. Give me the man, Joe Burrow, over 2.5 passing touchdowns at plus 144 on FanDuel. We have cashed this, like I said, 2 weeks in a row. The last week was really sweaty, but as you can see by this outlier screenshot, Burrow has now done this in 8 straight games. It is insane. It's pretty much saying the Bengals are going to score 3 touchdowns because the run game is not really existent near the goal line. Burrow has 42 passing touchdowns. The running backs have 9 rushing touchdowns this year. Last game versus Pitt, Burrow had 3 touchdowns and 7 red zone pass attempts. Last 10 games, Burrow is averaging 8 red zone pass attempts per game. This is a team that moves the ball up and down, as you guys know. They are calling 66% pass plays. Absolutely insane. And now Chase Brown might not play. It's going to be an absolute pass fest. And by the way, his pass attempts line, how about 40.5? That is wild. I find it hard to believe he doesn't throw 3 touchdowns again, or at least give us a chance in the fourth quarter. And that's all we can ask for when you're getting plus 140, plus 150 kind of odds. So, but matchup here, Steelers ranked 11th in touchdowns allowed, passing touchdowns, not a big deal to me. Burrow already threw for 3 TDs against them. Also, quarterbacks versus Pittsburgh lately, Mahomes, 3 passing touchdowns. Lamar, 3 passing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 2, which is similar to 3 for Burrow probably. And Jameis threw 2 touchdowns. So, game script, I think we see a lot of points. I think it's going to be a shootout. Bengals are going to be probably in the game or playing from behind because their defense doesn't allow them to just run away with a game at all. They're going to throw it a ton. Let's cash this plus money 3 weeks in a row. Give me Joe Cool over 2.5 passing touchdowns is my first best bet in this game. Second one, another half unit play, Jaylen Warren over 20.5 receiving yards, minus 110 on Bet365. He's the running back for the Steelers, if you don't know. But last 2 games, 5 targets in each game. He's been heavily involved. When you have a 20.5 line and a guy's getting 5 targets each game, you got to love it. 44 and 41 receiving yards in those last 2 games. He is over this line in 4 of the last 5, over in 6 of the last 8. He has 46 more snaps played the last 3 games than Najee Harris. He is being heavily involved right now, or he has been heavily involved lately. And his stats in the last 10 games, how about averaging 8.8 yards per catch? He has a long reception of 13 or more yards in 4 of the last 5 games, averaging 4 targets per game. His receptions line is at 3.5 for a reason. I mean, if we just get 3 catches this game at around his average 9 yards a catch, you do the math. He's at 27. We're well over this. I just need kind of an average game for what he's been doing lately. There's a possible ladder up to 40 plus receiving yards, I think, in this one. Now, I will say it's always a little hit and miss with running back receiving props. That's why I haven't done a ton this year. But I do like this one. The matchup, Bengals very average, allowing receiving yards to running backs, ranked 13. But running backs versus Cincy lately, Jerome Ford, 5 catches for 39 yards. 2 weeks ago, Tajay Spears, 6 catches for 87 yards. And then Warren, 4 catches for those 55 in their last meeting. This number's too low in my opinion, so I like it. Give me Jaylen Warren over 20.5 receiving yards as my second best bet in this game. Third best bet overall on Saturday. Any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. Let's start out with some winners, but before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The 3 best bets for Saturday. Ravens minus 12 in the first half, minus 110 for a half unit. Joe Burrow over 2.5 passing touchdowns. Let's cash this for a third straight week, plus 144 for a half unit. And Jaylen Warren over 20.5 receiving yards, minus 110 for another half unit. Thank you guys for watching. As always, again, the 2 NFL best bets videos, the game bets and for Sunday and the player props anytime touchdowns. Those 2 videos will be out Friday evening to late night, so stay tuned for those. But thanks again. As always, I appreciate the support. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.